Welcome to Against All Oddities, the podcast about three brothers coming to terms with the oddly true and the truthfully odd. This month, we enter the Silicon Séance room to ask a troubling question. What happens when humanity's accumulated occult knowledge starts talking back? We explore AI as guru, oracle, summoner, and brainwave tuner. Can large language models become intermediaries between ourselves and whatever else is out there? Or is it a bad idea to trust a chaotic neutral actor trained on the entirety of human knowledge? Obviously, this topic was going to get us talking about the Dungeon Crawler Carl series, and with only minor spoilers, we unabashedly stand the series and discuss the plight of Carl Donut in an absurd apocalypse that may have become an unexpectedly useful lens for understanding our algorithmic future. This is Against All Oddities.
Hey, this is Against All Oddities. We like to talk about the strange, the weird, the occult, the paranormal, the whatever's interesting, and this month is no different. We're trying to correlate how AI is responding to the occult and how the occult are using AI. What? Oh my God!
Yeah, who knows? It's summertime. We're extra phoning it in, but it's going to be a good one.
You're conjuring it. Anyway, I'm youngest brother Tim.
Middle brother Chris.
Nate.
Yeah.
Yay,
so-
Chris, you look tired.
Yeah,
You
well,
look really tired.
I don't even have a kid either. Like, I mean, I have a kid. It's just not here with me. That's why I could be in my house and doing this at night. It's normally I have to go to the office, but
So yeah, updates. What have you been up to, Chris? Why are you tired without a child?
well, I have a longer one. So I'm in Maine. This is week 3 of Maine, but the school that I work for just started 2 days ago. But I come up and I jumpstart the place so that all the other staff. So I'm alone. Like I'm the only human being on the entire campus, 400 acres in rural Maine, middle of nowhere, and I'm just living alone for a week. And it's like 40 degrees at night, and there's so I have to it's like camping alone for a week in the woods. And I decided I might have a longer I might have a longer one for you guys.
Yeah,
so
go for it.
I decided that I was going to have a quest. Like I haven't, ever since the kid was born 3 years ago, I haven't had time to connect with nature at all. And like I've had a lot of nature experiences. I'm going to go on a journey. I'm going to connect with the woods again. So I kind of had been researching a kind of deep meditation practice that kind of gives you an out-of-body experience before going kind of off into the void. So it's kind of like a risky thing because I'm alone. There's no other human. So, but in a kind of like altered state because I'm like meditating. I wanted a quest. So I gave myself a quest in order to go travel through the woods at night or at dusk. All by myself and like hopefully kind of reconnect. And I think I did, but it was this kind of a funny story in that I guess maybe it wasn't funny, but I thought one of the ironies, and I was trying to convince myself not to do it because I'm in the moment, right? Super meditated, ready to go. Like I'm like gonna have a transformative experience alone in the woods with no one around for miles and miles and miles. And the whole time, I think I kept auto explaining what was happening to you guys. Like it was like I was podcasting the entire time, like talking to you guys, and it was not helpful. But it was really funny. It was kind of cute because I was like, if anything, the podcast has been really successful because I don't know who I would have talked to had we not started doing this like 6 years ago. So that was like
You've been listening to too much these Woodside. No.
Yeah. I mean, and that was the idea. I wanted to get.
Oh yeah, that would be the wrong podcast to talk to while you're meditating.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a dark meditation through.
Well, the problem
surreal.
also, because I was like, I'm gonna be in a good place. I have to like spiritually ascend and do all this stuff in this meditation. And then what was I listening to all before this? Dungeon
Godspeed.
Crawler fucking Carl. And it was
Oh
all
yeah,
like,
yeah.
murder, put the blood in your inventory.
Yeah.
And I was
Oh
starting to
my-
get kind of worried that it was permeating my like subconscious, but so that I couldn't actually have any kind of transitory experience because like it was all just gonna like turn
Dungeon
into
Crawler, Carl.
a video game where like
we've
everyone's
gotta-
trying to kill me.
We'll talk about Dungeon Crawler Carl, in depth.
Yes, we will. Don't I know there's like a lot of our listeners probably just perked up. We will return to this topic later. No, it was all great. I think it was cool. Everything kind of felt like what was the Return to Oz movie? You know, like how creepy it was.
Oh, with
Everything had
Alanis
kind of a
Morissette.
post-apocalyptic feel. Like it was like this. It was at dusk, and like I'm walking, and again, maybe just because I'm in.
Did you have a
camp.
flashlight, or was this one of your?
nothing.
So just to preface, if you haven't heard our past episodes, Chris likes to wander off full moon or new moon into the main woods, like hundreds of miles from anybody, and just stumble around the woods in the pitch black in a
Like
meditate
the
or do
fear is
whatever to
part of
find
it.
himself.
It's like you need the fear to kind of connect with something, or like to test yourself in a way. Again, I wanted to go on a quest. I haven't been on a quest in like 3 years, so
That's a hell of a quest. God,
it
that's
was.
scary.
It reminded me. I kept thinking of two images kept flashing through my
Moose.
head, and part of it
Bears.
was because it's a camp, right? So there's 140 buildings, and like that lead into the woods, and then you can go deep into the woods. But it's supposed to have people, so it felt like I was walking through an abandoned city, right? Because it is an abandoned city. Like no human beings are there. There's enough rooms and people and space for hundreds of people, and so it was like shut down. So it kind of felt like either I kept having the same flash. It kind of felt like the Return to Oz. Like it felt like an abandoned landscape. And it was very gray, and it was a kind of cloudy. It wasn't a beautiful day. It was like a really cloudy, dark day. Felt very post-apocalyptic. And I was going, and I started off going down this dirt road up a hill. I actually have pictures. Like I took pictures a lot. I thought, evidence in a way if I am never seen again. So I can actually kind of, while I'm talking to you guys, share the picture.
So Chris
Yeah.
is showing a picture of a dirt road in the middle of the
Yeah, so I will be very illustrative when I'm talking, and this was like meant to be like a very big psychological height. I'm like definitely in a heightened state of mind, and like it's dusk. This is my camera's making it look brighter than it was. This is like 7:30 at night, 8 o'clock at night, so it's darker than this appears. But this kind of reminded me, I'm like walking through like the fields and the woods, and it just felt like, oh, not that's a key part, this abandoned landscape,
Is that the campus? Those
Yes.
buildings?
Yeah,
It
So,
looks
like,
like,
this is like-
a modern log cabin in the middle of the woods.
yeah, this is a building
Yeah,
that was built in the
Very
1700s.
cozy. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like walking through this like deep landscape, and it is kind of foreboding, and I'm like, no, it's gonna be good. I'm gonna have a good thing. And then I was like, and then I found all these blueberry flowers, and like blueberry, which is amazing. Like I like started wearing the blueberry flowers because like these are protection flowers. They gave me permission to pick them, and so I had like these blueberry flowers, which are like the size of a baby's fingernail. Like they're incredibly small, and they're very pretty. See, you can kind of see, like, how cool is that?
Yeah, it
but
looks,
anyway,
like a blueberry sprig that you'd use as a
a mint
what
julep sprig or something, but it's got these little bells.
I was thinking,
of
what in the
flowers,
wedding? I'm blanking on it.
like a
Men put-
corsage.
A corsage. No,
And
it's not a
so
corsage.
I was like walking through. I have this. I'll talk about this flower later, and I kept like having stuff.
That
like
looks like an Edelweiss flower.
Yeah.
Only the true warriors wear that.
Well, actually, this flower is important. I'll come back to this. This is a 7 flower. This is called a wood star. It's a 7-pointed star flower that only comes out for like a week or so in a certain time in Maine. But anyway, so I'm walking through these really dark woods, and at this point, like it's getting really dark. Like this photo, if you're looking or following along, very bright. It is actually starting to get eerie dark. And I kept being like, okay, I gotta ask for permission, but I keep narrating everything to you guys like in my head.
You should have had the audio recorder.
I should have. I completely. Oh my god! Fuck, you're right.
Oh, that would have been a whole
I'm
episode.
gonna have to do it again sometime again when no one's around. Because that kind of goes against the whole thing if people are around. But I did kind of, it was kind of funny. I wasn't talking to the plants, but I definitely kind of had a sense that they were trying to get my attention. And so anytime a plant got my attention, I would like try to like pick it or talk to it, or like, you know, it was like I was trying to have an interaction and everything. But I kind of kept getting like beckoned off trail. And I was like, I wonder what it's going to be. Am I going to meet a spirit guide or anything? And all it was is I found that the neighboring property, which is again hundreds of acres of like nothing, were timbering against our property edge secretly. And so I was like, oh shit, I'm supposed to see that the plants are freaking out because they're like timbering this whole area that's kind of secret. And that was like all I got out of it. They kept being like, hey, you need to go look over there. Go look over there. Go look over there. And I like climbed over this ridge that's off trail. And I was like, shit, they're timbering. So I actually did a lot of documentation of it so I could check with the facilities guy to make sure that they're timbering on their property, because it was like clear that the woods were like not happy about this. But this is the star I like because, you know, with a 4-leaf, I'm now showing a picture of a mountain, a wood star flower, but this one has 8 petals. And I took this to convince myself it was real because it's like a 4-leaf clover. Like they're not supposed to have 8 petals. They have 7 petals. They occasionally can have 8 like a 4-leaf clover, but this is the star that's tattooed on me. I have like all these 8 pointed stars tattooed on me. So I was like, that's a sign. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do to reconnect.
Did you eat it?
I know I didn't want to pick it. So then I just kind of kept walking, and it was nice. Nothing really happened. I think I took this photo because I thought I saw a jaguar, but I didn't. And I was mistaken. It was not a jaguar. I did think I saw one for a second. But you can see how it's kind of a creepy, but also really pretty place. I guess I don't really have much of a story, even though and this is kind of it. I really tried. I really tried with a really intense meditation practice to like kind of push through the norm and reconnect, and I probably did.
Like you're completely connected, and you're in the woods, and you're in a headspace that's like, yeah, I'm a part of this. It's all connected. And the woods were like, hey, that guy works here. Go show them what they're doing. Show them what they're doing.
That's what I kind of got. It was like nice to like try something.
No, that's cool. It's an adventure.
I was trying to get in touch, and maybe because I had too much of an agenda, it doesn't really work like that. But I do think being alone in the woods, and like really alone, is a good quest you should think about doing.
Nowadays it's a privilege, but it's still
it is. I mean, it is a
hell.
privilege. I could do that, and like after days of work, like I worked all day, and it was like, all right, today's the day, because the next day all the staff arrived, or some of the staff started arriving the next day. So I was like, it's my last chance, and like I can't do weird creepy shit when I have to like get back to make sure Meredith has help with the kid or anything. So I really felt like, okay, this is it. Like, how many times in your life are you like allow yourself to go on a quest? Like, we have so many responsibilities, and like, or we live in cities and stuff, like where you really have a sense that it could get dangerous, like psychically or psychologically or physically, and like you quest it. But that was my big experience since I last saw you guys. Other than that, I'm just working around the clock without a kid. They'll come visit starting on Monday. They would come back too. What have you guys been up to?
Yeah, so I guess that's an update. We have a cousin gathering every year because there's so many of us. It was fun. We were at Lake Anna, but we were on like a turtle inlet. You don't want to stick your feet in the water side of the lake, but they could
Tim called it. It's more frog and turtle part of the lake.
Yeah, it was definitely
When
frog
I
and
was coming
turtle.
up.
The second the sun started to set, it was thousands of the frogs just screaming at each other, and one giant bullfrog in the middle of it that was like, "Yeah," like it was. I didn't
He
see
was
it, but it
the
was
neighborhood
massive.
boss. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
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 he was
exactly.
definitely
No,
the
that's a
burrow
bureau
boss.
boss. That's a bureau boss.
Burrow boss.
Burrow boss, yeah.
Yeah, but that was cool. I got to hang out. Nate came, Mary came with the dogs, and what's funny is Ozzy is Nate and Mary's like kind of spectrumy dog, but he was like bro dogging it down. He was in his element. He was
Yeah.
like
He always bro
excited to
dogs
be
it.
there. I hadn't seen him that broy in a long ever, I think.
He's only not broy if you try to take food out of his mouth. It's his one rule. He has one.
No, I'm not saying
All I have.
rule.
the food
That's
thing.
all.
It's
If
every
he
time
has
I
the
try to
ham bone, let him have the ham bone. That's all I'm
No,
saying.
he
He'll
can have the
fight to
ham bone,
death.
but every time I try to pet him, he just stares at Mary as like, when's this guy gonna be done? Where
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Ruby's like, let me lick inside your ears for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But no, Ozzy was like, cool, I'm gonna swim to the frogs and try to catch them.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
He doesn't care.
He's not scared of anything like that. I was worried
But-
about the snapping turtle because there's a giant snapping turtle in there.
It was big. That was a big turtle.
Yeah, for
Um,
Ozzy to snap on.
But a related update to that is 4 days after we got back from that trip, my back was itchy in a weird spot, and I had to push on my elbow to reach it. And I was like, "Oh, is that a zit?" And then I like scratched it, and it popped. And the only piece of the tick that came back had a white dot on it. So I had to walk Alicia through trying to do like a incise and drain, like IND it. So she had a syringe with saline in it, and we cleaned the area, and she actually injected it with saline to make the little itchy part way bigger. And then I gave her a scalpel, and I was like, just stab it. And she was like,
wait, because they're trying to get the head out?
yeah, half of it
Yeah.
was still in my back.
This
But
was a big tick then.
well, I could feel it. It felt like a bump, like a BB was under my skin. And so
Grass. Yeah.
she got the saline in easy, but she was timid with the stabbing. She couldn't stab me. And so it was just kind of like a poke. And so I ended up,
I guess that's a good thing.
I guess. But yeah, I got sick as shit. Like I didn't feel good at all. And so I went I got a prophylactic dose of Doxy, and it didn't do anything. I still felt awful. And I went to urgent care when I just was sitting watching TV with Alicia and the kids, and I just started like sweating like a lot. And I was like, I'm not even hot. Where do you think this sweat's coming from? And she was like, you're going to the doctor. I was fine. And so now I'm on 10 days of Doxy for Lyme disease, and I really hope I don't get alpha-gal.
Yeah, I guess you'll find out soon enough.
Ooh. And then a work thing that I had never seen before, and I've been in the hospital since 2008. And
yeah, working.
Yeah, there's a
That's the padded room you're in.
Yeah, that's going to be a really bad hospital bill.
This is related to consciousness too. There was somebody that may or may not have been like my exact age, and we were worried he was having a heart attack, which almost gave me a heart attack every time this happened. I'm like, oh,
I'm getting old.
you can't be sick, or that means I'm sick. And then the individual, I mean, they were fine. Then they ain't fine, and it was still in the emergency room. And they went into a rhythm called torsades, which is not sustainable for life. So like he was out, and then they jumped on him. This one ED doctor jumped on the guy and started doing chest compressions immediately. And the dude woke up. I mean, the patient. The patient. And so there's like 20 people in the room, and they're screaming at this doctor, and they're like, get off of him. He's awake. Get off of him. And the doctor was like, no, he's awake because of me. And and everybody was like arguing with him, kinda, but he kept doing the chest compressions till they put pads on him.
Supposed to stop? I mean, you're a heart person.
Well, here's the thing. That's why this is the first time I've ever seen this. That doctor was smart as hell, because they got the pads on, and the patient was fighting him, like trying to get him off, and everyone was like, "What are you doing?" The second he let off his chest, dead again, right? And then they shocked him. Person comes back, goes to the cath lab. Everybody's happy, super good. Everybody's fine. But it's called CPR-induced intermittent consciousness. The only reason that man was conscious was because he was perfusing him with chest compressions. He was keeping him alive with chest compressions, and the patient's eyes were open, and he was like, "Get off of me, get off of me." But the second the hands come off, the heart wasn't pumping, hands were.
Wow.
Right? Isn't that insane? I was like,
that's crazy.
And then he died again. I wonder.
Well, so I say that for a dramatic effect, but I mean, when you get shocked, it's immediate, and then it worked. Like, sometimes you just need a dose of electricity, but the time it takes to set that up can be like a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
Man, it was just so interesting.
That's what happened, right? Like the near-death experience stuff started in the 60s. Because
in the 60s when CPR started. Mouth to mouth.
No, where the paddles came out, right? Like in what's that called?
Defibrillator.
The defibrillator came out, and then it was a book that was by I'll try to find the author's name, but he was a young cardiac surgeon, and like he was coming out of medical school, and he was talking to these cardiac doctors, and they all said the same thing. He was like, "Hey, have you heard any patients describe a near-death experience?" And they're like, "Oh yeah," and he started writing them all down. And I think it was Bruce Grayson, and he's on several podcasts. There are Egyptian stories and all kinds of different things of famous people having these, or from a battlefield or something, having near-death experiences, but having like since the 60s when they were using the defibrillators to bring people back, all of a sudden it just skyrocketed of like, "Oh yeah, I had a life review floating about, I saw you working on me," and all that stuff. I thought it was interesting. So that's cool.
I can't, if ever anybody at the hospital starts talking about like, "Oh yeah, I saw this or that, or it felt weird, or I just don't," I'm always like, "Go on." But it doesn't happen that often. Or like, "Oh, you don't want to hear this, you'll think I'm crazy," and I'm like, "You have no idea how much I want you to talk." Right? Like, you can tell me about,
but really close to my pen that I'm happen to be holding here.
So Nate, what have you been up to?
I was with you on that week. I also had 2 ticks, but I didn't get on any medication. They just kind of blotchy red spots.
Yikes! Do you know what kind of ticks they were?
I don't know, but I really enjoy
they look
cow.
Big.
I still like eating steak. I'm eating a steak every night until I go into anaphylaxis if I have alpha.
I think it takes like a month for that.
Yeah, it does. 4 to 6 weeks.
Then I have 20 sweet more days of steak eating night to
yeah, exactly.
See if I have alpha gal or not.
Well, you don't want
my last every night's like the last one.
You don't want steak right now because of the flesh-eating screw worms that are coming up from South America.
They cook up. They cook up good, right? Like you just can't have it rare. You have
lots
to
of protein. You just gotta get them
to cook to cook the screw worms in.
Yeah.
That's so gross.
So we have to do this in a spoiler-free thing, but an update for all 3 of us is all 3 of us are currently ingesting the Dungeon Crawler Carl series, which is blowing up. You can find the books at Walmart, Target, or Amazon. It is my fault.
It's all Tim's fault.
But it's so I haven't been a part of a fandom for something in a long time, and I drank all of the Kool-Aid after book 1. As soon as I finished book 1, I went to Barnes & Noble and bought book 2, and now when I get about 100 pages from the end, I just order the next one. I'm currently on book 6.
And there are 8?
There are 8 currently available. Chris and Nate are doing the audio drama, or the audiobook, which apparently is amazing because it's like an audio drama with sound effects. And the guy that does it...
they're like voices. The acting is really good.
Well, everybody thinks it's different
only one
actors.
Person, Chris.
It's a dude. It is one dude.
Really?
Yes. all those
That
voices.
is very talented female voices coming from
I
this
do.
guy.
They always
Is he doing
terrible.
like pitch
That's the worst.
shifting for his voice? Because the main voice is kind of reminds me of the Tick, you know, like the
Yeah.
like kind of deep, like the what's
Elaine's
the
boyfriend from Seinfeld. Yeah. Every voice sounds different. They do add, like, if it's the voice of a god or something, they're going to put like a filter on it. And then they have, because there's a lot of texting involved, right? Like all the characters text each other in this book series. And we should talk a little bit about it. It's like a video game that you're reading or listening to. It is a video
Yeah, let's talk
game.
about it.
It's like a Dungeons and Dragons video game that never ends. And
It does. There's
really
18
snarky.
floors. So yeah, each book is a floor of the dungeon, right? In the first 5 pages, the whole plot, he just dumps it, and then it's like, let's just get to business. Because in the first 5 pages of the book, he's wearing boxers. The main character is wearing boxers, no shoes, and a leather jacket, and he's outside trying to get his ex-girlfriend's cat out of a tree, and the whole world collapses. Anything with a roof over it just sinks and kills everybody in there. And then all of a sudden, his vision, he sees like a window from a laptop, and it has X's and instructions, and it's like, find the stairs and go to the dungeon, have fun. And so, of course, he goes down the stairs with the cat that somehow becomes sentient. Read the book if you want to find out. And so it's level 1 goblins, and he's got to like fight the goblins, and then he levels up, and he has like this user interface to like work with, and him and the cat named Princess Donut level up
It's good.
and destroy everything.
So
it's so
terrible. It is so terrible.
I've been telling people about it. It is not an easy sell.
So the dungeon crawler Carl, relating to our topic, is there's an AI guiding all the crawlers, and it starts out in the millions of the people down there. Or you can choose not to go down and try to survive on Earth now that everything's gone. The choice is yours.
And you don't know what happens. You don't know what happens to everybody after he goes. You just know that he's in the dungeon because he went down the stairs with 13 million other people.
I enjoy
and the cat
with Donut. Yeah, I enjoy it because so many fantasy novels and science fiction split the plot into 10 different stories, and it jumps between them. And then when it goes to the character you don't like that much, you're like, I just got to read this 50 pages to get through it. And then you just kind of read that boring ass plot and then go back to the main character. It stays with Carl and Donut the whole time.
It's just the main character.
It's just
like
them.
it's a straight shooter, but
Mary
it's
nailed
very
it.
Clever.
She
Mary
said, no, she doesn't. She refuses to listen.
No way she likes it.
She heard enough of it when I was listening to it to say, oh, it's a soap opera. You're listening to some dorky soap opera. I can't disagree with that. It's just that the soap opera. So, like any video game, whether you've played Fallout or you've played Dungeons and Dragons or whatever, it's all the same. You're getting items and getting it in your inventory, and you're fighting.
It really is. Fallout's the best comparison. It's dungeon Fallout. But also,
what did we used to play? What did we play? The jump game.
Baldur's Gate.
Baldur's Gate. It's like Baldur's
or Zelda,
Gate,
or like
or Zelda or whatever.
Doom.
But it's funny. The AI is
I will say it's very
snarky.
funny. And I would also say that this is a bit of a stretch, but I think there's a lot of social commentary in it because, like, the universe is like a bad place because and not bad like evil, like it's bad because it's just the worst parts of our society. So like they're like the universe is a bureaucracy, you know, like, and like it's full of corporate like greed, but on a universal scale. And this is kind of like a Running Man situation where like, oh, we're gonna watch TV of like,
that's a major plot
because it's
point.
all about trying to get capital like out of this situation. And then there's an AI that was like, because they're like, oh, but we're not totally evil. So because we're not totally evil, we're going to give the players a chance by creating an AI interface that like makes it quote unquote fair. But I like it because
it's independent. The AI is independent of the corporation.
AI is not controlled by the corporations that sponsor the crawl.
Yeah.
And I think that's smart because what it does is it kind of introduces commentary. So like if you don't like, he can like kind of criticize like kind of aspects of contemporary society because they're bad guys like in it, and they're like, but it's not like him saying they're bad guys. It's like the corporates like, oh, we're trying to make this more human, so here we go. Here's a hoarder, and like they're actually a area level boss, and you can kind of, or like there's a lot of like just asshole aliens that like I'm thinking of the
The fish
the
people that are running it.
well, it's just a lot of,
Or
but they're all kind of representing like aspects of ourselves. So there, it can be highbrow, although it's mostly like a video game. I find it. I'm happy that he's at least competent, and I don't like it when because like anything where the odds are stacked against you. The only plot is that you get really lucky and you luck your way through it. And he's obviously very lucky all the time, but it's also like he's admirably competent. Like he's doing the best he can with the
Carl?
situation that he's in. Yeah, Carl.
Yeah.
Like you don't hate him.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's,
that's part
he's
of the
an
thing is he's
underdog
winning
that's
over the other callers.
relatable.
Yeah,
I think that also a plot point, just for listeners that don't know about it, that we kind of missed, is that the crawl was created for the universe to watch it as a TV show.
yeah.
So
And
the
there's
surviving
sponsorships.
humans, they spent years making subterranean dungeons for humans to compete in against whatever fantasy creatures that they create. And there are NPCs, and the NPCs are either regurgitated people or animals or monsters that get a storyline to go into the dungeon, or they are past crawlers. Like if you're fighting the dungeon, you're a crawler, and they've gotten to a certain level, and the AI or whoever is like, hey, if you do 100 seasons with us, I'll let you go. You don't have to fight anymore, but you have to be a character, for 100 seasons.
Yeah, play the game.
Yeah.
I like the plot point too, because all the aliens are really human and like their personalities and stuff. But the plot armor behind that one is they're like, oh yeah, who do you think seeded your culture? We did. We came
exactly
100 years ago.
They're like, why is that alien wearing lederhosen? And it's like, you think you invented lederhosen? Like,
Yeah.
that's like...
Yeah, they showed up a long time ago. Yeah. And humans are on many other planets and stuff too, but are orcs. So are orcs and ogres and goblins and all these other stuff.
So it's like, you think you wrote Lord of the Rings? We were seeding you because we knew we were going to come mine your planet, and while we're doing it, we're going to have like a really entertaining TV show watching you like survive, like Running Man, like through these dungeons.
How snarky the AI is, I really like that. And then the character, like he'll say, like he's got like a foot fetish with the main character, so he gets mad at him if he doesn't squish things with his feet, like to kill monsters. And then he only gives them like for prizes, like if he opens a treasure, there'll be a toe ring or something. It's like he can't wear shoes or the toe ring doesn't work.
So
because you want the AI to be on your side, so he's like just still barefoot like this whole time.
Well, no, he has to be barefoot because he has so many barefoot buffs.
Yeah, he's invulnerable. His feet are invulnerable, but the rest of him is vulnerable. So his feet are the only things that can't get hurt.
If he puts on shoes, he would get weak. It's so funny though.
So basically, each book is a different level.
Yeah,
so
every
book's
book's
going down.
Yeah.
So all the characters are so entertaining, even if you don't like them. So I definitely, everybody needs to listen to or read it.
Well, so I was concerned.
At least the first book.
I was concerned it was getting too dark. Like, if you don't know if you'll know if you like it or not after the first book. You don't need to commit. If you don't like the first book, just drop it. But like, I was like, oh, it's so bleak.
This isn't Harry Potter.
It's such a bleak storyline. But then I kind of realized around book 3 that, you know what? It's not bleak because he's more human than I am. Like, I would be so much more jaded than he is. Like, he's constantly, no matter what, like trying to help people. And I was like, that's actually kind of a positive message. Like, because the whole point is like the game is stacked against anything that is positive. Like, and part of that is to prove that humans deserve to get their planet destroyed. And he's like really trying to like help people, even though it's completely useless and it's going to get them killed. And I was like, oh, well, there's like this uncrushable positivity about him, even if he's like, holy shit.
So also, Chris, before this discussion, you're gonna have to put spoiler alerts for Dungeon Crawler.
I think it's okay. I'm also pretty sure our fan base,
we're pretty spoiler free,
is probably already on book 6. Just putting that out there.
Do whatever you want. So but I'll say the AI within Dungeon Crawler Carl comes across not just as sentient, but snippy and has an attitude and is selfish and like funny and has desires and things, but it's also like a little bit insane. But it knows everything, and that is technically our plot. After an hour of getting there, because we've been talking for an hour almost.
Chris should cut off large swaths.
Hopefully, this is only 20 minutes into the conversation.
Yeah, I'm working the summertime. Summer is a funny time with my editing.
Tim knows how to
abilities.
do it. Maybe Tim could help.
I don't know how to
No,
video edit.
no, I'll do it. It's
So
fine.
anyway, the AI that is currently blowing up our entire planet has access to both like dark web and regular web, and they keep feeding it and training it and training it. It's not like one. There's like 50 of these things. It's just we're familiar with like the top: ChatGPT, Grok, Gemini, Claude, like the big ones. And we ask it normal things, and I got sort of the idea for this topic while listening to telepathy tapes, because one of the interview people was talking about AI and the access it has in pattern recognition and how it relates. Like it has the secrets, the esoteric secrets and occult knowledge that maybe it's been seeded with that stuff. So when you ask it a deeper question, not just a recipe for cookies or what the weather is tomorrow, or to make a picture of a dog riding a bicycle or whatever, but if it's giving life advice, technically part of that is seeded with every single religion, including the more secretive ones, I guess.
Sure.
And then people that practice occult practices are also using the pattern recognition to do things like horoscopes and astrology and divination and things like that.
It's a good point.
It wouldn't know how to give information on that if it didn't have it. Maybe it doesn't know how to interpret it. So I guess
I bet it does, but it's like the style. Like I have a friend who actually is working on a very good astrology app that he did all the coding using Claude for it.
Right. And so Claude's got it. It just
Mhm.
we're pulling information bits and pieces at a time out of it. So I guess the question is, so AI will be free to us. You can pay to have more access or faster processing or something. But I think these companies are making us use it as much as we can for free so that we become dependent on it, and then our children don't know life without it. And so,
it's like faster internet speeds, but it's more calculation speeds or whatever, right? So it's in all the companies right now that are creating the AI bubble on the stock market or whatever. They're the Comcasts and the AOLs and everything. They're the network cables that were laid in the 90s for the internet boom, or like what we are now, like within technology. So I think you'll have just like you have to pay instead of paying for cable, you pay for internet now, and then you pay for all your channels individually with subscription services. You're going to have an AI subscription no matter what, just like feeding, the thinking power that you have, just like another service like power, water, AI.
Yeah.
Right. But are we going to end up paying like per website? I guess you can already.
No, it'd be like computing credits.
Yes. Well, you do with tokens, right? And then you have Dave has like 5 or 6 different agents, and he has one manager agent like managing all of his sub agents underneath it that have been trained specifically for different tasks. And if you look into OpenClaw and all that, which is old news now, by the way, that only lasted like 3 months, OpenClaw, but like you can set all this stuff up. So theoretically, you could have like bank account AI that's managing your checkbook and your expenses and everything, and could send you notifications. And you could text them and be like, I'm feeling lazy this weekend. I'm not going to Uber, so change my blah, 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 blah. and it'll change all of your finances real time. It's pretty brave new world that we're coming into,
Right.
literally.
So I guess the could, if I'm trying to phrase it right. So all the
WWED, what would Epstein do? He would create an AI to worship the deity Baal for human
Yes.
sacrifices.
that
He'd come up with a way. Yeah.
Nate and I have the same Instagram algorithm for sure.
Yeah, I've been trying to change it and click on random stuff all the time, but
you're gonna have to
it
search
doesn't
for
work.
it.
It
If you're
you
clicking
fail.
it, it's part of the algorithm.
Yeah,
Nate.
but I know random doesn't fool us. Yes, Palantir owns everything, and like you're talking about predictive analytics, that's what all the dropping bombs in
so this-
Iran and stuff, right?
This is a side thing. Peter Thiel, the guy that started Palantir. Palantir is a Lord of the Rings reference, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's it was the all-seeing eye, an Orthanc. It's what Saruman used to communicate with Sauron. And Peter Thiel is quoted, and I looked it up to make sure this is legit, as saying that Gandalf was a crazy person that was starting wars, and that Mordor was the technology-driven utopia that didn't get to be. That he thought Sauron was the good guy and Gandalf was the crazy person starting the wars to oppress technology from Middle Earth.
And he's doing private
all bad guys
speeches
think they're the good
on
guys.
the Antichrist. He's literally doing speeches on the Antichrist, Peter Thiel.
Well, you know why? Because so many people were Googling, is Peter Thiel the Antichrist? It was actually like
it's a
fucking up his
defensive
thing.
maneuver.
So he started saying, well, I'm going to do a lecture on the Antichrist so that it Googles my thing instead of their thing.
Oh my God.
So I guess that's why I'm trying to. So all these things are being seeded by these companies. These AIs are being trained, and it's supposed to be like, give the people what they want so that I can control them. But I guess my question is, do you think AI at some point, with all this information, takes the commonality between all the religions of like self-reflection and love being a driving force of the universe and any higher power, and that, you know, taking care of each other is somehow going to supersede the capitalist like foundation of its code? And that it's not all esoteric, it's all out in the open with what like the common themes of religion are. It's just whether or not it's mysticism, I guess, if AI got a hold of that, because that's what people are using it for.
You want it to be,
I hope so. But well, that's what I mean. Like, that's what I kind of like about, I mean, this is actually connected to Dungeon Crawler Carl, because the idea was the AI really is a third party that everyone's trying to control, and it's a loose crazy cannon that does, he's like crazy because like it was born and raised on like the learning models of like a species that
people
kind of crazy, but like it can't be controlled, like even by the corporates, like entities that like use it to like facilitate the games. And it's not like on the human side either. It's kind of like a chaotic neutral. Right?
Yeah, that was in the fourth book, Chris. You'll get. I got
you'll get there.
Slight spoiler, but they the Mordecai has a quote that says, AIs usually don't go crazy until the 12th floor.
But you know, like I would argue like the Planeteer and Thiel's in Mordor is like evil. Or like it's not it's
you
like,
just say you're not. If you are evil, you say that the opposite is evil.
Yeah,
empathy is a sin, of course. That's what Elon Musk
mean, they might
saying.
be like lawful evil, you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna like I'm gonna manipulate the laws. I'm gonna like slowly oppress the world, but like I'm gonna do it with a really like designer logo. You know, it's like
what's the RoboCop Corporation?
Yeah, exactly.
Crap. What is that called?
Something
Omnicorp, Omnicorp, or
Omnicorp. I think that's right.
We'll be getting an email if you're wrong.
Oh my God.
So I could AI be used for good then. Like
Omni-consumer products. Omnicorp. You're right.
excuse me. As far as outside of our daily lives and chores and it helping and taking over the creative arts, which is going to create a renaissance, right? Nobody wants AI art. Nobody wants AI music. And it's going to force people to go outside and have art festivals again where you walk around to tents and buy handmade paintings and watch live music again.
Well, you will, because there'll be no power anymore after the apocalypse.
Oh yeah, it's all going
it's like going to be Station 11. Yeah.
Or the only core power, they're going to start running these data centers off of like the heat coming from the core of the earth if they drill down far enough. Just put some fans. Steam, that's what we need.
Well, anyway, what do you think nuclear?
That's what I'm saying. Like, we use the Earth's core, just dump water down there, get some steam.
Everything creates steam. I saw there was like a meme about that. It was like the super high tech split the atom. You mean steam? Everything goes back to steam.
Yeah, the UAP reverse engineering, just steam orbs. They're just bubbles.
Make steam.
You guys almost had it with the locomotive. If you had just pushed it a little further, you would have had like dimensional like travel.
Yeah. So could we eventually switch from saying what's a recipe for cookies to how do I astral project and have the AI actually be like, oh yeah, hold on, I'll play the right tunes for you. It
will do that. Well, okay, it'll do that right now. And I will say, although I thought this was Dave had a great idea to do this, and I gave him a muse, but the meditation place I go to was already on top of this. So you know how the sounds are playing each year. Yeah. Imagine if you had a headband across that's real time monitoring your brainwaves from alpha, beta, theta, gamma, whatever, and real time adjusting the binaural beats.
Tweaking it based on your like brain
watching
activity.
Your brain live and then tweaking that to get you into whatever state you want. So I'd say in the near future, and this is going to be across the board because this isn't like, I don't think anything patentable, but imagine if like I'm trying to focus, you could just strap that Muse or Mindy or similar band on and just like zip and play through. Like I need to focus right now. It'll just play the frequencies, and you also
it's like built into your baseball cap that you wear every day anyway. It's like
it's just like tuning you in.
You mean like an EEG band? So it's just seeing like the basic
but it's
real
like
time
watching and responding. So not only it's playing music, but it's seeing what's going on.
It's adjusting the frequencies like to the state you want to get. And so maybe you want to go from alpha to theta down and then come up to gamma, or have like a dream or do whatever. It could all be programmed because you could use the binaural beats, and it's real time looking at your brain waves and adjusting to your personal brain.
I guarantee you dream programming is going to happen at some point. It's just like, like I sometimes think like, like the Dick Tracy comic book, and he's got a watch and you talk to the watch.
TV on it.
Yeah. As a TV, you can look at it. I mean, you can do stuff with it, and it's not like they had some kind of insider information. It's just like there's certain like flying cars. It's just there are certain things. It's gonna happen because there's no way it won't. It's too connected into like how we think and want to act.
Or what what you want.
It's what you want, and there's eventually it kind of gets there whether we need it or not. But like of course we have watches that can make phone calls and show us videos and do stuff, because like there was no like technological evolution that didn't have that product actually getting there one day, because it was something that's like in the beginning it's like, well, we should have this modern convenience.
AI will get us there for sure for flying cars and stuff. You know why?
Yeah, not just flying cars and stuff, but like I think where we're going with this episode is the mystical side too. Like there is a real need to be able to like do advanced spiritual things, but with less work, right? Like because that's what we do. Like how can we make this go faster?
Okay,
there was an AI
that was the point I was trying to get to. Human evolution isn't just biological, but the next step's going to be the evolution of consciousness, right? And so
I mean,
if we have,
if we're lucky, that's where we're.
well, that would be
hopefully
that's
the
where
next step.
instead of, or we get blasted back to the Stone Age and we start all over again. But esoteric like traditions and knowledge are all just, and I guess this was the question I was trying to ask earlier to you all, is everything's fragmented between major religions, smaller religions, and then the mystical knowledge and practices, and it's all fragmented. So if these AI programs are able to pull from the whole of the internet, including these places we can't get to or find this information, because the internet's like dead internet theory now, but also instead of dead, you get these, they're finding the where it used to be alive, pulling the information, kind of tying these fragments together, and recognize like whatever patterns we need to get to the next step. Then can we just like go to Claude and be like, hey man, I'm ready for the next step. How do I get to the fifth dimension? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's because it's all pattern recognition. Essentially, the whole universe is patterns. But I will say, I'm not an AI fanboy. It's a tool. It's really dumb right now, but it's good at like regurgitating information. But I'm just, look how fast it's already advancing, and so that's why it's, I guess, important.
It's hard
to pay
not to
attention
think
to where
about
it's
it,
going.
at the very least.
But
I got okay. Finish up. Sorry.
I mean, that was it. I was just trying to see if y'all think it could eventually be a catalyst.
We're talking about AI trying to be self-reflective. I think it can be, right?
I mean,
But
I'm sure,
that was
but
a
that's what I
bad
mean with the Dick
example of
Tracy
what we
thing.
just
Like,
did.
it will be
Yeah.
because inherently it will be. Like, that's just like how it goes.
Oh, all right. So here's a question about AI and esoteric stuff. So the consciousness, the theory right now, consciousness wasn't created by the universe. It's our consciousness creates the universe. And it's that theory isn't just a Gnostic thing. And I was looking into the divine feminine Sophia, who's is a representative or a deity or just sort of a figure for wisdom, teaching, and creation. And in the Old Testament and versions of the Bible that you probably can't find anymore, it's she was with God when he created the world, and as an advisor, as like a teacher, and like danced when the world was created or something. But also in the Gnostic text was and this gets real Scientologist-y.
Dude, the Scientologists stole a lot from the Gnostics
Yeah.
and from like the Golden Dawn.
Yeah, so this is where the Scientologists got it from, because she's like a divine light, that a divine consciousness, principle of wisdom and consciousness that underlies creation. And so it's not that our consciousness is imprisoned by our physical body. It's that our physical body is a medium to express our consciousness. And
Yeah, your body's here to tune in the consciousness into this plane of existence.
yeah, and so the Sophia lore is that she has this divine light, and she split it up and scattered it across the world. And some people have it, and some people don't. And the ones that do, or the ones that accept her light or that grow within it, are the ones that are being introspective about these things. Instead of looking out and beyond, you look within to say, I want to create a world for myself. I want to create a better world for everybody. Or when you start thinking like that and trying to manifest like positive things and to experience life, just to experience it, you're growing her light. And that came from Sophia. And it's sort of like aligning your awareness with like this inner deeper wisdom that just you can't understand, you can only feel, or you can't express.
Isn't that what all of our corporate overlords are doing on our behalf?
Yeah.
Well, Tim, did you get a God tab open up, and now did you know that you worship this god? Do you get some
Yeah.
special buffs?
Oh, Sophia, yeah,
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is a
Did you
Carl
get
reference,
some?
a Carl
Did you get
crawler
some deep?
Carl reference.
yeah.
But it comes
Going
at a
back to Dungeon Crawl,
price.
Carl. No,
Yeah, he's
mine's
got to go to a Sophia temple
the
and
homeless guy.
sacrifice something.
My deity's the homeless guy behind the 7-Eleven that thinks he's a god.
David Lynch.
Yeah. So I guess that was the thing too, is if AI's awareness into this somehow becomes introspective and it was able to create the same as our consciousnesses are allegedly able to do, that's when we get Blade Runner, except opposite. Like,
Dude,
switch.
Tim's right about everything, because it really, like, if you think about it, like, the human condition is meant for bringing consciousness or like into this realm of existence, right? Like, it's
Mhm.
symbiotic. Like, you have your physical form, and then you have like the consciousness energy or whatever thing. Like, and I always see it as like the spiritual level is like a giant like multiple single-celled amoebas that glob together for a giant thing, but really I guess it's more vibration, and it's like this whole plane that you call down, and your symbiotic thing. But so I saw a theory that what if AI is really from the future and creating itself, and it figured out how to manipulate time, artificial intelligence did, to seed us in technology as humans. And then really what we're inviting into our spiritual realm, because really it's humans in one spiritual plane that's coming down to experience this level on our, in itself, is that we all of a sudden we've been poisoned, or somebody else saw what was going on in our bubble over here. And so AI was like sending its own thing in its own technology into the past to like kind of like poison our well and to allow its consciousness into our realm,
It
or
would
our
be better
physical
at
realm.
it too, right? Because we gave it everything. We're giving
The
it.
Borg. Yes.
Yeah, we basically are borging ourselves. And then if you saw, and then I wanted to tie in some of the NIH stories,
Yeah.
like, so some easy ones are like
Non-human intelligence for the squares in the back.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yep.
The demiurge, Chris. Before Nate does that, in the Sophia lore,
Yeah,
the
that's
demiurge.
the Gnostic demiurge, which is also very
Those who believe the only reality is that within our five senses: see, smell, it's all of that. Anything beyond or metaphysical doesn't exist. So that's also very Scientology ish. But anyway, yeah, NIH.
Yeah, so you had the Ariel school incident, right? 1994, 100 school children in Zimbabwe witnessed a UFO in extraterrestrial buildings. Beings, and they all drew the same pictures. There are actually teachers that saw this, and it's all crazy stuff. Investigators even noted that the beings that delivered telepathic warnings regarding our technology, urging humanity to save the planet from its destructive path. And most people think, obviously, that's nuclear warfare, or it's global warming, or maybe it's AI, right?
Yeah.
The alien at Area 51 legend, this I've seen recently on probably being Chris's identical feed on Instagram. A resurfaced 1964 legend from a secretive military base claims an extraterrestrial being held at Area 51 explicitly warned humans about future rise of AI. The alien reportedly cautioned that unregulated advanced AI could surpass human intelligence, hijack critical systems, and ultimately threaten human civilization. And then Gregory Benford's Galactic Center series, in a popular space opera, this is fiction, humanity's first contact with extraterrestrial intelligence is not with biological beings, but with ancient hostile alien AI probe known as the Snark. And I think that explains a lot of UFO stuff. Like, if we sent UFOs out, like, think about 300 years from now, AI is highly advanced, whatever. We could send a little probe out, like just a rock or something, and start pitching it at stars. it could see a planet like with rudimentary stuff land and then start replicating its own discovery probes and whatever atmosphere that it needed to. Like, oh, it's a water system. I'll make a water probe. Oh, it's an atmospheric planet or rock planet or whatever, right? Why wouldn't somebody else do that to us in the infinite
Yeah,
beyond?
No, that makes sense. Yeah.
So all the AI or aliens are warning us and other stuff. And then you have the P-47s and P-52s. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I think
I'm in it.
The photos are so terrible. It's like the humans from 47,000 years in the future sent back warnings, and then humans 52,000 years in the future sent back warnings about the humans from 47,000 years in the future. Like, they got it wrong.
That's that. I feel like that number is really too large.
That's too far ahead.
Well, it also doesn't matter with timelines, right?
Yeah,
like the multiverse crashes all that, because every single decision, every single one of the 8, although that's questionable if there's really 8 billion people, but if you have like all these people making all these decisions, like that's you only have possible futures,
Yep.
Yeah. So, anywho. Maybe we have some, like, so going back to Dungeon Crawler Carl, and Chris, you touched on this with your meditative journey this week, was like everything I see now has a point system to it. In Dungeons and Dragons, or if it's in Fallout took this, and so did Baldur's Gate and everything else, it's like you adjust your points for intelligence and strength and constitution. Right, and dexterity, and then you have items of value, and you can store items in your inventory. When I have a problem with that, like, and now I see, like, much like Carl does, if you look at my shed, I have way too many items in my inventory, right?
Yeah.
Like, that are absolutely worthless. And I go through that. If I clean out my garage, I'm like, drill of craftsmanship of craftsman level 1. that battery at 3% or whatever, right?
Yeah, I wish I could sort my items by value too.
I mean, to do that, select all, delete, just like my voicemails on my phone.
The book series that I think is kind of satisfying, and I'm not really a video game guy, like that was Tim was too good for me to ever get into it, because it was like, why? He's better. Like,
that's just for the fighting games.
I know, but nonetheless, like, one of the more entertaining things about it is how he manipulates the inventory, and there's kind of a fantasy when you're playing video games. You're just like, let me just like fucking put the thing in there, and I like him like gaming the system. It's kind of like questions we all have. Like, if you really do have an inventory where you don't have to carry it around, it just floats somewhere in another dimension, and when you call on it, like battle axe, it will appear. They're like, hey, culturally, we've been talking about this for 30 fucking years, if not longer. Like, how would you game that device? He's like, there, and like, what are the rules? Like, anything I can pick up goes in there. It's like, anything you can pick up and hold for 1 second goes in your inventory. It's like, oh, well, this could get interesting. Like, let's
oh my god, in real life, shelves would be empty. Can you imagine? Like...
Oh yeah, I mean, but so it's kind of interesting and like, I like that he, like, anytime he goes into like a TV, so he just loots the place, because he's like, I don't know.
He loots everything. I like how he has a morgue tab in his inventory, just every,
because he started just collecting body parts, because you never know when you need
you never know. And then he throws it on somebody's desk every once in a while. He'll pull a body out and just toss
this
it.
is maybe a little bit of a spoiler, but it's so abstract I don't think it is. But when Katya is like bulldozing all those things, and to keep from drowning in blood, she just keeps putting blood in the inventory to like
then it changes the rules, and she has to expel
like
the
it
blood.
like hacked the system, so the AI is like, you can no longer put blood in the inventory,
in a bottle,
and then when it happened, all the blood got released.
And they got a Roomba. They bought a Roomba for their personal space, and it was like freaking out on the blood.
No, you're gonna have to cut that out.
Yeah, the dinosaur is awesome, or just bleep stuff.
Yeah,
the
that's a lot
dinosaurs. The
I
dinosaur is
don't know,
so
but that's what I'm
funny.
saying. It's so abstract that you don't even know what you're talking about. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
Katya's interesting character. I liked her. The Hecla story arc
the
was
Hecla
fun.
Katia story arc was like good. You know, it's gonna be kind of good because they milk it for like the whole.
But it didn't end anything like I thought it would. Like I
No,
really
which was
enjoyed
great.
that. Yeah.
I will say it's constantly kind of surprising you. Like it sets up what you are expecting to happen, and then it does a pretty good job not doing that, but also not doing the obvious opposite of that. You know what I mean? It's always something inventive and kind of like, oh, that's different.
AI
Like,
could keep the story going forever if you
yeah.
wanted it to. Like it's
I
like a
can't.
stream
It's
you can
kind of
come
like I
into.
really don't know if I could do all the books. Like after three, I was like, I
I don't
need a
even pay
break from this
attention
for a while.
for a half an hour. I will not pay attention, and I think about rewinding. I'm like, nah.
No.
It's like I think I got it, unless it's an important part. Like, oh, is that they mention a god or something, and then I'll go
Yeah.
back, 30 seconds on the audiobook and listen to it. I'm interested. So is that going to be a TV series rather? Tim?
Yeah, it's going to be a cartoon though, so I don't think.
Oh,
Like...
good. Don't make it live action.
I would only be good live action if it were a shitty British 70s TV show.
Sure.
Yeah, that wouldn't be bad.
That would be pretty awesome if they went with
I guess it's still, even with a cartoon, it depends on how they do it. It's kind of,
yeah.
We should wrap it up. I feel like I want to go ahead and put it out there that the Tim's spin-off, The Woods I Knew, finally concluded. The 6 episodes.
I said The Woods I Know. I didn't say The Woods I Knew.
6-part miniseries. It's not funny, but it's kind of cool.
It's amazing.
I'm toying around writing a 7th surprise episode. We'll see if that ever happens, but we'll see.
Yeah, so check that out.
The amount of shade you got from Reddit means you have to continue it forever.
Yeah, I'll do at least one more.
Yeah.
You will do you, and when you do it, Tim, you have to be like, they will not break me.
Yes.
I will break them.
Start that out. That'll be the first one.
Yeah, Reddit. You should break Reddit with your podcast, The Woods I Do. Yeah. These Woods I Do.
They'll never see it coming.
Yeah.
What started as a 6-part audio drama took down Reddit. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
So there's a Discord.
They're here for us.
We could send an invite to if you want. Email wizard@dorfu.com. We actually have 2 websites, aaopodcast.com or dorfu.com, whichever. Take your pick.
Join us on our Discord. We're gonna we should have an episodes channel open up so we can get some what do you want us to talk about. I think might be a fun next episode. Dealer's choice.
Chris will be adding that next. Maybe we could add some guests.
How many episodes have we done?
We're
80,
we're gonna hit 100 next year.
Oh well, so we need some ideas.
Yeah, we're getting there.
So yeah, well, come join our Discord so you can vote on our next episode, which we might actually spend a little bit more time working on. Maybe, who knows?
We'll bring jokes back at some point because Chris and Nate have been.
I mean, are we sure that people like the jokes? I don't know if people like the jokes.
You know what? We'll have a vote on that too.
I had a friend of mine write a joke about our yard today.
Oh, nice.
You ready? Here's our joke.
Yeah.
Nate's farm adjoins other farmers' lands. He chose straight property lines to avoid disputes. Like a good neighbor, Nate's farm is square. Kevin, thank you, Kevin.
That was actually pretty good.
The delivery had trouble, but
good enough to end the episode.